Hey everybody, welcome back. Been playing catch up on some videos from the various YouTubers that I follow, and while I agree with most of what they say, every once in a while there's things I don't necessarily agree with, and the intention of the person doing the video might be all well and good, but you know, it seems like some or a couple in particular want to try to push you into spending money you don't have. I've said from day one that you stack what you can afford, when you can afford it, and however much you can afford. If that means that you go to an LCS and you buy a couple of Mercury dimes, okay, fine, so be it. Got a couple barbers here, the Rosies. Everybody recognizes these. You got to pay attention to the years because, 64 and older, 90% silver. Same thing with your quarters. I've got 3 different kinds of quarters here in the tube. I'm just waiting to get some more of the, I've got some barbers in there, and I've got a couple of Standing Liberties in there. Just waiting to get a few more of the other tube before I start separating them into their own tubes. But this YouTuber will not shame you for buying a piece that's 50%, 40%, 35% if you're talking about these guys here, your war nickels. I will not, beat the drum and go, ooh, bad, not worth it. If all you can afford to go stack or to pick up is a couple of war nickels, maybe, one of these guys catches your eye like this. This is a Canadian silver dollar. It's a 73. It's 50% silver. As is this, I believe it's a 1982. Let me see here, see if I can get it to focus here for you. Yeah, it's a 1982 silver dollar, Canadian silver dollar. Okay, they're 50% silver, but that's 50% more than you had when you started out. If you can only afford one of these silverbacks that's buried under these rounds and coins and that, if that's all you can afford, it's more than you had when you started. So I don't agree with the whole unga bunga, good, bad. No, I don't. If all you can afford to do is go out and buy a few 40% Kennedys, so be it. But again, if you can afford, maybe you can afford to buy one Walking Liberty. Okay, you're stacking. You're adding to your stack. That's more than you had when you started. I just checked before I started this video, and silver is sitting at $29.88 per ounce US. So it's still under 30 for the moment. Now, do we think it's gonna go down again? Do we think it's gonna go up again? Only time will tell. But never feel shamed into buying one thing versus another. If you can afford a silver 1 ounce silver bar, go for it. Again, if all you can afford is one of these dimes, okay. If you can afford a silver maple. Fine. If you can only afford one at a time, buy them one at a time. They'll add up. And if you're really lucky and you can afford it, there's a 5-ouncer there. You can go with that. But don't ever be shamed into or scolded into buying something you can't afford. Because, we know the way the economy is, not just here in the United States, but the whole world. It's not that easy for people to just run out and spend a ton of money. You've got groceries to buy, you've got clothes to buy for yourself and your kids, you got utility bills to pay, house note, or rent. And having somebody sit there and give you 100 reasons why you shouldn't buy this, that, or the other thing. Now, I mean, I will tell you there are things that I would say don't buy, but as far as, you're building a stack, and if you've got to build the stack with war nickels, yeah, they're only 35% silver, but it's more than you started out with. And I know the premiums are the killer. And you know darn good and well if you go in and try to sell that, you're not going to get what you paid for it. But the fact is, we're stacking for the long term, whether it be to supplement our retirement someday or, have something other than, a bunch of bills and an insurance policy that's going to get taxed like crazy when your time's up. Leaving something for your kids, maybe your grandkids. Okay? But you got to start somewhere. And if that is with less than 80% silver, I mean, you don't want to stack a whole ton of it, but to get yourself started, while you're saving money for bigger things, still add a couple of dimes, silver dimes, couple silver quarters. Sometimes you can find deals on these guys, the peace dollars or the Morgans. Yeah. And I know here we are again, this would make us, one YouTuber in particular's eyes twitch. The silver Ikes, they're 40%. They're not 90%. They're not 3 nines fine, 4 nines fine. They're 40%. But they're silver. They're silver. So again, don't let anybody shame you into buying something you can't afford. And with that, I'm going to call it a day. I'm taping this mid Wednesday morning. You're going to see it Thursday morning. Everybody, have a great day. Be confident in what you're doing. Enjoy the hunt. Happy stacking. Miss You Stacker is out of here.